So today is a packing day. Get everything all set. I've got a 4-day lifestyle shoot in Phoenix, Arizona. Leave tomorrow, so I've got to get everything packed up, make sure we don't forget anything. Kind of give you a little look at what I bring on location with me. So headed to the studio now. Bloody hell, Harry.
In my mouth is a desert, running dry on the tip of my tongue.
So the GoPro took a pretty good shot there. Came unsuctioned off the front of the car on the drive-in. Minimal damage to it, but it took a little ride there. Anyway, let's talk about gear and what I do bring with me. For this job, been in production. It's a 4-day shoot in Phoenix. Been in production for about 3 weeks off and on this thing, a bunch of Zoom calls, all that kind of thing. One trip there already to scout. So after that, I pretty much know what I'm going to need to bring with me and what I'm going to need to rent there. Typically, I never fly with stands. I always rent those there. And lighting, travel with the B1s, which are what are actually in this case right here. So I usually have these guys with me. But the assistant I have down in Phoenix has already a set of these, so I don't need to bring this case with me this time, which is nice. One less thing to put on the plane is always good. And for me, the way I travel, I never put any cameras checked in below. They're always carry-ons. I use Think Tank roller cases. They're Airporter or something like that. I've used for years. They're great, fit in the overhead good. Typically bring 2 of those cases on board with me with all the cameras and lenses, which will look at what I bring and all that kind of stuff. And fortunately for me, my wife travels with me, which gives me that extra carry-on, which is great, especially when you're going and you need a lot of gear. Yeah, I think let's just start taking a look at what I bring. I used to have a list that I would check off. I've done this so many times now that I don't really use a list, but I think a list in the beginning for somebody just starting out would be a great idea, just so you don't get someplace and you're missing something. That's the worst thing, and everybody's had it happen to them. You get there and you don't have a transmitter for the strobes or some sort of little thing. It's usually a little thing that you forget and you go, crap, and you got to figure out a way to get around that. So if you do make a list, it's a good idea. I just don't do it anymore because I know what I'm bringing. So let's take a look at the camera equipment that I bring and lenses and all that, and we'll see how that looks. Here's a look at what everything I put in the bags here. There might be a few little things like all the batteries are not in here. I'm not showing any of the batteries or any of the chargers, which you definitely need to remember to bring all your batteries and chargers. Got the C70, the 5D Mark IV, the R5. Switching to the R5, just got that recently, had it a little bit. Still don't love the video viewfinder. Really kind of a old school guy. I really like the 5D Mark IV. My 1DX Mark II, I'm not bringing it this time because I'm going to primarily shoot with the R5 now and see if I truly do like that all the way. Have just a tiny bit of video to do on this job, so bringing the C70, probably shoot it with the R5 and the C70 for the little bit of video I have to do. Have the drone, bring that with me. Color meter, just a regular meter as well. A little white gray flip out card, bounce card to color off of, get color off of. All your cards, you don't want to forget all your cards. Some
polarizing filters, step up, step down rings. So I usually buy just a 77 millimeter and then step it down to all the different rings or different lenses I have. Some other little filters I like, a little air squeeze ball thing. Right now, got to have my hand sanitizer. Another color checker thing. Usually do that, shoot that the first shot of any scene I'm doing. All the Pocket Wizards, and then this for the ProPhoto transmitter. Got my little on-camera flash set up here. Sometimes I use this just to pop in a corner or something where I can't hide a stand or something like that. Walkie-talkies. Usually bring a couple of them, depending 2 to 6 I bring of those. You got to bring your card readers for sure. Sensor swabs and the sensor fluid, which I normally throw the fluid in the case. I don't carry that on in case they want to confiscate it or something. A door stop, which is very important when you're hauling in and out all your equipment. It's nice to shove something under a door, especially in hotel rooms where those doors shut automatically. Shove this little guy underneath the door, holds it open, easy to get in. Hard drives, I bring a bunch of hard drives to back everything up on multiple drives in case something crashes. So constantly backing up. I've got my 70 to 200, 16 to 35, 24 to 105, 11 to 24. That covers all my zooms. 85 1.2, 135 1.2, the 50 1.2, and the 40 millimeter pancake, which is a great little lens, especially if you're in a really tight situation. So I always bring that little guy as well. Yeah, that about covers what goes in the bags. I've got other, little things, other little cords and stuff that I bring as well, but this is primarily the lens selection and camera, excuse me, camera selection I bring with me. And that usually covers just about everything I need to go. Don't need anything longer than a 200 because most of what I'm shooting this time is pretty up close. I won't be doing any really long distance shooting, so I don't need that. I've got my right angle finder in case I need to go low, but that only works on the 5D Mark IV because now you can't remove the eyepiece on the R5, which is another little thing I don't know if I like about that camera or not yet. But so far what I have shot with it I do like. So that about covers the look of everything that goes into the cases. Again, don't forget your batteries and all your chargers for everything because that's a huge pain. And I have multiple chargers, so I can charge four of these batteries at a time. So you've constantly, while shooting during the day, I have the assistants back recharging the batteries as we go. So that's a look at what goes in the cases. And now we'll talk a little bit more about what other accessories I bring with me. That just about does it, wraps it up for packing everything up. In here, in this case here is my iMac with all my tether tool cables. I got backups on backups just in case these things go bad, which they have in the past. So you learn your lesson to have more than one. People step on them and everything else, but got my iMac in there, a couple extra HDMI cables, Airport Express and an Apple TV to send from Capture One remotely so people don't have to stand right next to my computer. Some flex fills, a couple flex fills in here. We've got some super clamps. It's good to have a couple of those. Some A clamps, knee pads, elbow pads, another pad over there, carbon fiber tripod, couple umbrellas, gels, road rags, flags in there. All of that crap goes into my personal luggage. And then the rest, cameras are all packed up. These 3 cases here zip up, and those carry on backpack and 2 rollers. I've got all the rental gear, all the ProPhoto strobes, stands, mag liner with a top shelf, some aperture lights, everything else, scrim gym, and all the modifiers I rent down there. My assistant's getting that all picked up for me down in Phoenix. So at this point, it's just a matter of zipping everything up, loading it in the car, and taking off. So I'm done. That's pretty much what I take with me each time, and I'm out. Till next time.